Email come in, I guess it was a few days ago, asking me my opinion on this particular female's relationship. Now, she's been trying to get clean for some time. She gets, a little time under her belt and then relapses. And she's attributing it to the fact that her spouse is extremely unsupportive, verbally on the edge of verbally abusive towards the fact that she can't get clean. He doesn't understand addiction or dependency. He thinks that she should just stop taking the stuff and then just move on. So she was curious what my take on the whole situation is and what advice I had for her. Now, I want to be clear in the beginning of this that this could be a very broad topic. Obviously, you have a lot of different variables involved in a relationship. Only you truly know what is there in that relationship. If there is love, if you still love each other, if you're staying together for convenience, for children. You look at the divorce rate in the United States and it's insane how many people get divorced. So when it comes to a relationship, there's a million other things going on, okay? But for this particular video, I'm going to just make this a very, level video, meaning that obviously you don't take this verbatim because you might have different aspects to your relationship that I'm not covering, and this may not even apply to you. Okay, but what I've seen over the years is that if you tend to relapse because you're not finding the support you need in your own home, from your spouse, from your loved one, is there a reason why? Okay, is there reasons why there may be a lack of support? Were you very hard to be around for years? For this person? Did this person stay with you through very, very hard times? Did you take from them? Did you lie repeatedly? Did you manipulate them? Because you have to put yourself in their shoes too. It's very easy to just, go off of what you see, but you have to put yourself in their shoes and see what they see. And what I mean by that is they may be very tired. They may be very tired of sticking around. They could be tired of, the same old story where, you try to get clean and you come up with an excuse for why you relapsed. So, because that could really beat somebody down, especially if they love you. And on the flip side of that, you have the fact that, say, maybe you weren't hard to live with. You made it very clear that you had a problem, that you needed help, and the support just was never there. Then you have to start looking at the fact that whether you may have to separate for a little while to, take care of your problems. And that may be good for your spouse too, because they may need a break from you as well, because they've been putting up with a lot of your shit. But when you look at it, this is why I'm very adamant about talking about the fact that only you truly know your relationship, because I don't want to do this video and have people start getting divorces over this video. All right, but I want you to look at your relationship and ask yourself, does this person not understand addiction? Are they not trying because they just don't really respect me, or they don't really care? Are they really not being there for me because they just don't want to be anymore? The way I look at it is, if a loved one of mine who I really loved and cared about, and, they didn't, shit on me constantly, if they had a problem, I try to understand the problem. I try to educate myself on the problem and see how I could be of help. I wouldn't, just push it off to the side and say, get your shit together. But that's me. That's the way I mean, God forbid anything ever happened to my wife. I would do everything in my power to, learn about what's wrong. Say she has an illness or something. I would, educate myself on the illness and the best way that I could help her get through her illness. And that's the way I think that marriages should be. You're a team and you want to take care of each other. So if there's that lack of, motivation to help you, and the lack of motivation to educate themselves on what is going on with you, then you have to start looking at the fact that maybe they just don't care. They don't have the energy to care. And then that reverts back to, well, how long did you put them through, drag them through mud, and if you were very hard to live with, and if you lied and manipulated them. Because there's really two sides of this coin, serious two sides. So you have to look at it from their perspective. Please look at from their side, because if you were manipulative, because when I was in active use, I was the most manipulative person there was. I mean, you hear that story where you could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. I could have sold anything to anybody in order to either get out of trouble or get what I needed. So if you manipulated this person, your loved one, over and over and over again, that's tiring. Okay, especially when you feel like you've been hung out to dry by your own family member who you love. Then they start to wonder, do you love them? Are you just hanging out with them and staying with them for convenience because maybe they're keeping a roof over your head? All right, because these are a lot of things that go through their heads. So there's a lot on both sides that you really have to look at. You have to examine your relationship and talk to each other. The most important part of any relationship is communication. You can look that up anywhere. If you're not talking, if you're not communicating, the relationship's going to go to shit. Okay? Then you start to not even know each other. You don't know what's going on with each other. You're not talking about your problems that you have, and if you don't work any problems out, they just fester, and then new problems build, and then to the point where the relationship is just gone. So if something's bothering you, talk. If they don't want to talk with you, then you just have to start thinking, why don't they want to talk? What is their reason for not wanting to help me, for not wanting to talk, to work out our problems, to help me? Then you have to start examining that. And like I said, if you have to take a break from each other, that may be what it is. I mean, I don't think anybody should just jump into a divorce or a serious separation, but maybe a break where you can go off and get help that you need. They get a break from you, because it is extremely hard on the family and loved ones to deal with this type of thing, especially if it's over a couple year period, because they don't know if you're going to wake up. They don't know if you're going to get locked up. They don't know if you're lying to them every time you open your mouth. They have no idea what the hell's going on. And that's extremely stressful for them. So the most important things, put yourself in their shoes. Maybe it's time for a break. Understand from both sides of the coin. Don't just look at it from your side and say, why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you doing anything for me? You have to look at them too. All right? That's probably what you should do first. Put yourself in their shoes. All right. So if you have any comments on this, I know a lot of people have been through this. Okay. So if you have any advice for the girl who wrote me the email on top of what I've shared, go ahead, share your comments, and check out some more videos. If you want to leave an email, I am very open to emails right now, so you can email me at ryan@compsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. Continue watching. Leave some love. Oh, I had to shut down. This is surprising. I had to shut down comments yesterday on the video I did about Kratom becoming illegal starting September 30th, because people were bickering at each other, and I was getting accused of erasing comments from people that I didn't erase their comments. So I was getting ticked off reading all this stuff with the bickering and accusing me of stuff. So I just disabled the comments for that video. That's not what the channel's about. It's not about people fighting. And if I see it, I'll shut down the comments, because that's not what I want for this channel. I want people to, yeah, they can. It's fine to debate topics. That's awesome. That's what I would love to see, is people debating different types of recovery options and all that. But as soon as you start calling each other names and it becomes an unintelligent conversation and nobody's gaining anything from it and people are just throwing out curse words, it's gonna get shut down, plain and simple. So unless it's just like one person, because then I'll get rid of that one person. But besides that, that's why that happened yesterday. All right, so and that happens very rarely. I think I've only done that out of 500. I think I'm at like 540 videos. I think I've done that twice. So very rare for that to happen. So leave some comments below. Leave some advice for her. Check out some more videos. Write me some emails, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.